What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Narakius. Hope you had Narakius Gaming, alright? And today I got another brand new information about the 1.2 update coming out Tuesday, May 24th. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel already if you haven't, and let's get right into it, okay? Now we're going to clarify some things that the guys are all over there at Massive and Ubisoft, alright? The lead level designer, Mr. Johnson, he came out and he cleared up a lot of things, and that's what we're gonna do. I dropped a new video basically of the state of the game. If you haven't checked that out, that is a podcast that they do about the Division. Okay, when something big and something new is about to come out, they do it on Twitch. You guys can check it out whenever you want. I'm gonna leave the link to that in the bottom to that video so you guys can see it for yourself. But let's get right into things, okay? First thing on the list we're gonna talk about, all right, is features and facts from the Clear Sky. Okay. Basically, we all know that Clear Sky is the new incursion. Is going to be take place outside. Now, things we didn't know that's going to happen, okay? And things we need to know that will happen. First thing on the list that they tell us is that the weather is going to play a factor on the mission. Now, the only thing difference is we're not going to get a blizzard where to the point you only can see a few meters in front of you, okay? But the weather will be changing, and we cannot control when the weather is hot, sunny, cold, or none of that. That is all random, okay? So that is something to look forward to and to keep in mind, that the weather probably going to be playing against us when we do the incursion, all right? Now, moving on, gear score. Gear score is recommended for hard is 160. That's for hard. So I could imagine for challenging, if it's 160 for hard, then challenging, it doesn't say what it is going to be for challenging, but let's just say it's probably going to be let's say 180. I would say 180, but don't quote me on that, but that's just my speculation. But they say for hard is required gear score of 160. So that is the recommended gear score for the Falcon Lost right now. So if you guys don't have anything to worry about, you will be able to participate and partake in the new incursion. Now, they go on to say that it's in the open street area, okay? And before we go in, there is an open street at the beginning. You need to recover explosives from mobs and blast your way into the Columbus Circle. So basically, before we even get to the main part of the mission, there's something we need to do as far as grabbing ammo and explosive round. Now, here's something that was very interesting that I noticed that they pointed out, all right? The Columbus Circle is a DPS check. DPS check. So that is basically that's basically telling us that these guys are gonna hit hella hard, and we ourselves as agents have to be fully prepared on the DPS side of things. And that doesn't mean neglect your skill, power, and your health, because I feel like all that stuff is going to be very, very helpful, because when you do the incursion, it is a team-based thing. You can't nobody go in there and just be one man in it by themselves, even though there are people on YouTube that do it by themselves. Hoorah to you. But at the end of the day, overall, it's 99% of the time a team-based beat. So they're saying it's a DPS check, okay? So that is really an impression if you can handle the rest. All right. So another thing that was very, very informative on that, they go on to say that there are checkpoints. You remember how in the Falcon Lost, if you die, everybody dies. Guess what? You start from the beginning. You start from wave 1, and you just have to do it all over again and grind it out. It's not like that this time. So basically, if we get to a certain checkpoint and you die, you will start at the beginning of that checkpoint that you died, which is very, very, very good. I feel like that's going to be very helpful, because once you start learning the checkpoints, when the checkpoints happen, which I feel like is going to be, I don't know, let's just say if it had an NPC, it would be every bomb. When every bomb is was planted, that would be a checkpoint. So I would imagine the new incursion is something like that. Whatever the main boss is going to be, because they haven't revealed the boss, if you guys haven't noticed that. We knew we was going to fight an NPC in the incursion. We don't know what we're going to. We don't know if this is going to be just waves of hard-hitting enemies, or what's the new boss. I think they're keeping that as a secret, and it's just going to be mind-blowing, because everybody's so focused on the dark zone with cutting the rope. It's a lot of things they're not talking about that I feel like they're going to hit us with so much new things. We're going to be like, oh shit. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it, okay? But yeah, that's what I did. They also go saying that we will need to hit the med packs and to hit the restock crate at the checkpoint. So you don't have to attempt the second part of the mission with only 2 med packs after you died. Challenge mode will come out 1 week after 1.2 is deployed. Exact dates will be revealed. Oh, so look at that. So basically the the new incursion Clear Sky is only going to be on hard. So they just want us to get the aspect of it. And then the 1.2 challenge will come out 1 week after. So May 24th, we can expect the hard mission. Following week is when we can expect the 1.2. So the 1.2 challenge mission of the Clear Sky. So that's very, very informative to know. We have new open world activity, boys. Finally, we get to do some stuff outside of the dark zone, and this is good for some of the people who don't like to go in the dark zone. They haven't forgot about you guys, okay? They have this new thing called Search and Destroy mission. Call of Duty, right? Psych. But no, Search and Destroy mission sounds really cool, and let me read it off to you guys. Search and Destroy missions can be accepted from the station board in different safe houses. You can only accept search and destroy missions once you have cleared all encounters and side missions of a district. There is exclamation points next to the safe house. When new missions are available, search and destroys are random events that spawn on the map, and your mission is to kill a group of mobs. Each time you clear the search and destroy, you get an intel token. When you have cleared every mission of a district, you get additional 2 intel tokens. So this is pretty good. Basically, you're going to have these random little missions that pop up, and I guess you got to search and destroy whatever it is, all right, from these little mobs or whatnot. So this is pretty good. I kind of like that. You know, it brings a new flavor out to the open world and give the PvE player something to do rather than just get killed in the dark zone, I guess. I mean, not to sound so harsh, but that's what it is. If you don't go in the PvP world a lot, you lose your step. You get murked. Dark Zone actually has some new changes coming to it, which I like. And the first thing on here that I feel like everybody needs to know about is the stash. The stash, we will not need to go back to the base of operation anymore. So once you fill up your bag and you're 9 out of 9, guess what? You don't need to go to the base of operations no more. So that'll be really, really good. The stashes will be added at each checkpoint of the Dark Zone. So checkpoints are going to be the doors when you first walk in. Those are checkpoints, okay? So now all you have to do is just go to a checkpoint, empty out your stash real quick, and you're in and you're out. So I love that. It doesn't stop the battle. So that way, if you're in the server that's really, really lit, you don't have to worry about leaving the entire server, go back to your base operation, come back to the Dark Zone, find your friends, or probably get killed on the way to your friends. You can just go to the closest checkpoint, go into your stash, empty it out, and get back out there and farm or do whatever you were doing. And that's very helpful. So that way, when you find something real good and you don't have any room, you can just run to a close checkpoint, clear out some space real quick, call an extraction, bada boom, bada bing. Sounds easy enough, right? Good. Moving on. Now, they clarify some things. People was going crazy about talking about the hijack extractions. Hijack extractions, people were very nerve-wracking, I would say. They were kind of spazzing out about it because people were saying that, oh, all you have to do is just pop your ult and, you know, etc. You guys heard the stories. You guys know it already. It's not going to be like that, okay? Basically, they looked out for a lot of single players that play alone, and that is a big, big, big thank you to them on their part, because here's what's going to happen. When you guys run up to the rope and you first attempt to cut the rope, you automatically become rogue for 19 seconds. When you fully cut the rope, you are rogue for a full 90 seconds. But let's backtrack. When you run up to cut the rope, your character will be doing an animation of cutting the rope for 5 to 6 seconds. Doesn't sound long, but in the game, that's a hell of a long fucking time, okay? To be cutting the rope. And in that animation, your character will be vulnerable, okay? Unless you stop the animation to pull out your weapon and to gun down the person who's trying to shoot at you. But by then, you are going to be taking a lot of damage. So you might be dead by the time you're finished. But on top of that, let's say the person is very tankish. And let's just say, for instance, he does pop the ult. If you're shooting him, he is going to stagger. He's going to be an animation. It's like trying to plant the bomb on the NPC. He's going to stagger left and right, right and left. So it's going to be kind of difficult for him to just cut it off the rope. Now, if he eventually cuts it off the rope, they have something called the loot explosion. The loot explosion is basically, let's say you had a bag full of 9 out of 9 items, right? He cuts it off the rope and it drops. It's not just going to drop in that one little gold segue what you see when a player dropping the dark zone now. It's going to explode to the point where it's going to drop all over the extraction. So if there's another group or there's multiple people around, it's open season. It's like Oprah out there. You get a green, you get a green, you get a green, you get a green. So it's going to be really epic to see how this goes down. I'm really looking forward to test this out because I just want to see what it looks like. You know, I'm probably going to die in the process, but you got to have fun with this game. This game does make people mad, but you got to have fun with it. So you guys have nothing to worry about. All you single players, they've cleared that up. You guys are going to be in okay hands. Just hopefully you guys can stand on your own and take that guy out before he takes your stuff. And when you're shooting at him, you will not go rogue. So you have nothing to worry about. It wouldn't make sense for you to go rogue trying to protect your own shit. That would be really stupid on their part, okay? Now, in the dark zone again, we have something called sealed caches. Sealed caches are sounds pretty dope, and they are really being very graceful about you can literally get high end and special gear from all sorts of ways, not only just missions. Now, the best items in the gear are gonna come from missions, but you're also gonna get really good items also from other ways in the game, and this is one of them. These are called seal caches, okay? Seal caches can drop from all NPCs in different attires. Only named NPCs will drop high-end seal caches. They contain high-end division text, dark zone funds, gear items, weapon, and mods. So that's pretty dope. They need to be extracted. You won't know what's inside of it until you extract them and open them. So that's pretty dope. You know, it's like having airdrops basically. You don't know exactly what you're gonna get, but once you extract it, I guess it's probably gonna do that little animation when it shows what's exactly in it. So this is pretty dope, but you only could get them from name bosses, okay? Now, moment of truth. What we all been waiting for. The new gear sets, the information on the pieces and the sets. We're gonna get right into it. First on the list, guys, we have Final Measure. Final Measure is the new defensive set for the Dark Zone, okay? If you're running 2 pieces of the Final Measure, you get 50% exotic damage resilience. If you run 3, you get 15% protection from elites. Now, if you run the 4th, all 4 pieces, here is the Final Measure set 4 bonus. When you damage a player or an NPC with a grenade, you get a defuse buff. That allows you to defuse enemy grenades. When you defuse an enemy grenade, it will also give you a grenade. So, I mean, I don't know how I too much feel about that, but it's like, how many of you guys really get caught in a corner when somebody throws a real good grenade, right? And it just takes you out. The first thing you're going to do, you're going to roll out the way. You're going to dodge because it has a little delay even after you throw the grenade. Now, this would be very helpful if you can cook the grenade and then throw it. So once it gets, it just automatically just boom, just explode. So that would be very effective. But on the Final Measure, the gear that I'm looking forward to is the 50% exotic damage resilience. If you guys don't know what that is taking damage from anything but a bullet. So incendiary bullets, flashbang, shock turrets, and etc. 50% damage exotic resilience, that is going to be so helpful in the Dark Zone, because the way the Dark Zone is going on right now with everybody using flashbangs, now the sticky bomb is starting to be OP'd, and you have the incendiary bullets, and then you have the your explosive bullets. It's just so much in the Dark Zone right now. You just have to just fight against. It's not only enemies, it's not only the NPCs, it's just a lot you have to go against, and 50% exotic damage resilience is going to help so much, and especially for you single players. So that's very enough to protect yourself, okay? Moving on, we have the Hunter's Faith. Hunter's Faith is the new long range set, all right? And if you run 2 of those, if you run 2 sets from the Hunter's Faith, it's 20% marksman rifle crit hit damage. If you run 3, that's 20% damage to elites. If you run all 4, every time you land a shot, depending on the distance to the target, it will give you damage resistance against enemy weapon damage. You can go above 75% damage mitigation. The additional armor disappears after one bullet hits you. I think that's so weak and so lame. The fourth one, I'm not too big on the Hunter's Faith, but you know, teach his own. You guys find it and make it work. You probably can mix match it with other gear sets and make it work for you, but I don't like that. You know, you get hit with one bullet and you just lose that fully buff armor, which would kind of be very helpful, because think about it, if you kept if you kept that armor up the entire time until it like the 15 seconds was up, you'll be a fucking tank. Literally, you would literally be unstoppable. That would be so OP in the Dark Zone. So I guess that's the way you balance that out. Next on, we have the Predator's Mark. All right, Predator's Mark is the new support set in the Dark Zone. If you run 2 Predator's Mark, you get 20% optimal range. Woo! I already know what that's gonna be for. If you run 3, you get 800 assault rifle damage, and you get 700 pistol damage. If you run 4 sets of the Predator's Mark, every time you hit 10 bullets without switching the target, it will apply bleed effect to the target. The damage bleed effect will be 100% damage done by the bullets. That is very, very beastly right there, and I'm looking forward to this one right here. So basically, if I hit you with 10 bullets running my SMG, plus I get the 20% optimal range on the SMG, because you know the SMG's ranges are very short range, so the 20% is going to add that extra long range to it, what I need, 20% of that. And if I hit you with 10 bullets, I'm going to give you 100% bleed effect. Oh man, if you guys never had the bleed effect, trust me, super effective. Your guy runs super slow, his hearing is impaired, his vision is just all fucked up, and it's just bad. Your screen turns like a darkish gray and he can't aim correctly. It's just a lot going on your screen right then and there. So I'm looking forward to that. The Predator's Mark is something that I'm really looking forward to, okay? Now the last build is the Lone Star. The Lone Star, I'm letting you guys know now, is a DPS build. If you guys don't know what a DPS stands for, that's damage per second. That is like the kid of the Striker set. All right, this is like, I guess the Striker and another gear had something to do with each other, and this is the baby that they created, is the Lone Star. If you run 2 pieces of the Lone Star, you get 100% ammo capacity. If you run 3, you get 1000 LMG damage, plus you get another 1000 shotgun damage. If you run 4 set of the Lone Star, every time you holster a weapon, it will automatically be reloaded. So that's like being an ammo cache. You have infinite ammo, and all you need to do is just put it away and put it back out, and boom, your shit is back refilled. So this is really, really, really dope. It's gonna be very, very helpful in the Dark Zone. It's like you don't never need to worry about going back to the safe house and getting ammo. So I don't know. You know, I think only the 2-piece where you have 100 ammo capacity would be real good. This would be something I would run like on a chest piece or a backpack. Maybe. Nah, maybe a knee pad or something like that, or a face. You know what I mean? Like, you need to run 2 pieces. So I don't know, because I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it is for DPS, so it's like running a Striker. So this might be something I might do, something like I don't know, like 2 Predator's Mark, 2 Lone Star, and what was the first? The Final Measure, and probably run a Final Measure with the 50% exotic damage resilience. I don't know, something like that, where you mix and match it, because this one, I don't know if I'm gonna go for all 4 sets. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see and just see how the builds work out. I'm gonna build it from the build that I have now, all right, which I'm running 4 Sentries, a Savage Glove, and the Reckless chest piece, okay, which that will be fixed in a 1.2, so we can all say RIP to the Reckless chest piece. That's gonna be nerfed. So yeah, so guys, there you guys have it. You know, those are all the new updates. You guys let me know in the comments below. Let me know what are your thoughts and what do you think about what's about to happen. I'd like to see a nice discussion going on in the comments, and you guys just give me back your feedback. You know, let me know some of the builds that you have. The link to this will be in the bottom of the description. You guys can go check it out for yourself. And yeah, hopefully this video has been very helpful. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. Drop a like on this bad boy, okay? It's your boy, Narockius. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And I'm going to see you when I see you. Peace!